What up, world? My name's Tremaine Bradley, aka King Kaution. Y'all can follow me on Twitter at I am King Kaution. And I spell caution with a K, all capital letters. I'm here to talk about my life before and after the accident. So, I was involved in a drunk driver accident back in 2006 where my friend was driving. And I was a passenger in the back seat along with my other homeboy who was on the side of me, and the driver who owned, not the driver, but the owner of the car was in the passenger seat. Before my accident, life was pretty amazing. I played basketball a lot, did flag football with my homies on Sundays, played with my kids. I had just had a newborn on November, a month before the accident. But I did a lot of music because I produce, I perform, I do write songs. I'm what you call a rapper or an MC. See, an MC can control the crowd. Rapper just write rhymes. That's pretty much it. But I did lawn service because my dad owned his own business. And I did the lawn service during the summer, wintertime. Had to kind of hunt for a job, and then friends, they be hustling a little bit and try to get you to do a little something with them. So that was like on and off as like another part-time job, and cause I was more focused on music, and I had a little studio in the basement, so I sold my beats for like $50 and did studio time for like $25 an hour. My quality was pretty good too, and let me see what else. I was in a relationship with my son's mother at the time too, before I got into the accident, and he was born in November. I started working on a mixtape with this DJ Scratch Master Ski, and the mixtape is what you would call like a CD full of remix, like songs you remix of the industry from like your favorite artists, say like Chris Brown, Run It, or something like that, or Young Jeezy. You do a remix to one of their songs, your version on like one of the verses you feel that they didn't come hard on or do so great on, and you think you could have did better. Then that's the verse you pick to remix it. That's the original from my understanding. And so I put together a mixtape with the DJ, and the night of the accident is crazy because I remember everything. And we in the studio at DJ Scratch Master Ski's studio in his crib, and we're getting the final mix down, burn the first CD, and I goes to the crib on my way home. Now, I don't know if me and my son's mother at the time was arguing or whatever, I can't remember, but I get home, change clothes, take a shower, have my son with me, and lay him down, and I'm sitting here just getting ready to listen to the mixtape, and a couple of my friends called me, asked me if I wanted to go out that night, and I was like, no, I really want to go out because I just finished the mixtape and I wanted to celebrate on New Year's or New Year's Eve, and this was the day before New Year's. So a couple people called me and I was like, no, I don't think I'm gonna go out. Then last phone call was my homeboys. They asked me if I wanted to go out with them, and I was like, no, I told everybody else I wasn't really gonna go out. They offered to pay my way, so I was like, well, in the mood that I was in, I was like, man, I guess so. So then I made sure my son was straight, and they eventually called me, came and picked me up, and I don't never really ride with nobody to the club or anywhere. I'm usually the driver everywhere. So, came and picked me up, rode down the street, picked up my other homeboy, who I used to rap with too. We weren't in a group, but we just rapped together on a lot of songs. And after we got him, for everybody who know the city of Grand Rapids, we ended up on Jefferson Street, got to Jefferson and Hall, turned towards Madison. So we going up Hall towards Madison, and police has a post on Caston Hall. So we passed that, and I guess a good song came on that we was playing in the car. So the driver, all of a sudden, he turns the music up and just gets to speeding out of nowhere. And I swear everything went so fast, but in slow motion, but fast. If you understand what I'm saying, I don't know. But, and we going down the street, and I tell him to like slow down and turn the music down. But by the time you get ready to turn the music down, we already up to Hall and Madison, coming up to the light, and it's a car, not in the turning lane, but in the middle lane, and he goes to go around the car because our light was getting ready to change, and he loses control of the car swerves, and I end up grabbing the back of the seat and clenched up, and I guess we hit the curb, and my head hit the roof of the car, and I blinked out for about 10 seconds, but I could hear all the crashing and everything else was going on in the background. And then when I finally opened my eyes, I see smoke everywhere, hear everybody moaning, and I'm trying to see what's going on. So I asked everybody if they all right, but my voice was leaving me. So I get to yelling for help, and I can hear somebody in the background outside coming up to the car. I'm yelling help, it's a baby in the car. They instantly called 911, but it was already a police officer down there that we passed. So I think that's who seen everything. After that, firefighter or the paramedics came up to the car. I told them I couldn't move, so they opened the door slightly. Somebody grabbed my neck, they held onto it, put the brace around it, got me out the car. I told them everybody's phone number, told them my girlfriend's phone number, my sister's phone number, my brother's phone number, told them the house number. I told them everybody's number that I could imagine, and I just told them ain't nothing wrong with me, but I can't feel up under my neck. And I had on a brand new outfit, and I kept telling them, you gonna cut my clothes? You gonna cut my clothes? Please don't cut my clothes. Ain't nothing wrong with me, just my neck. Just don't cut my clothes. And I remember that, and they cut everything off, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, I'm finna go to sleep on y'all. And they just kept saying, don't go to sleep, just stay with me. So I hung in there until I got to the hospital. When I got to the hospital, passed out, or I don't know what happened after that. I woke up, and I was in ICU. Tubes everywhere, breathing machine. It was crazy. I mean, like, just doctors, nurses, family everywhere crying, and it was crazy feeling. Like 2 weeks straight, I was just, it was crazy. But I mean, like, tubes everywhere. I couldn't sit up for like 2 weeks without getting dizzy. I mean, sitting up straight, I couldn't do nothing. And I was always hot. Like, my temperature was like 104. I don't want to go in too deep with it, but that was crazy. My heart stopped one time because I ended up getting pneumonia, and I had a trach. I lost my voice, couldn't talk. They had to do the blinking system with me, and blink once for yes, twice for no. After I got the trach in, because they had tubes all up my mouth and everything. After I got that out, I had to lip talk like I was a deaf person to everybody. And after ICU, I ended up being in Mary Free Bed rehabilitation for 4 months. Started getting back a little bit of movement. Not that much feeling at the time. My level of injury was the C4, C5 incomplete. I was paralyzed, chest down, couldn't move nothing. Had a chest strap on. I wasn't really depressed, but my self-esteem was kind of low because I didn't want people to see me in a wheelchair, and so I'm pretty handsome, that's what they used to say. But I always wanted to keep that reputation, and that kind of, yeah, lowered my self-esteem a little bit. But the driver, he eventually got 3 to 6 years. Ended up doing 3 years. I didn't go to testify, didn't go to court to sue, or nothing like that. When I was in ICU, I actually told him I forgave him for whatever happened, because, you know, things do happen. I don't think it was on purpose. So I forgave him for that, because I do believe in God, and I do believe in forgiveness. Let me see what else, because with that, after I forgave him, I got blessed, because with the Michigan no fault insurance, I didn't have no insurance at the time, and so with that, insurance paid for my surgery, they paid for all my medical needs. They asked either build a house or add on to my parents' house, but at the time, I couldn't move nothing, so I wasn't really ready to live back on my own. I lived on my own before when I was walking, but in the wheelchair, not being able to move, nah, I wasn't ready for that. So, they built on an addition to my parents' house, and so I'd have like half an apartment. Let me see what else. They bought me a van, and I had to pimp it out. They paid for my caregiving. I have a caregiver at night. My mom does the day shift. And I'm trying to get back to normal now. Everybody pretty much treat me way better than how they used to treat me. I mean, they always treated me like they brother or like fam, but even more now, since my name is King Kaution, they treat me more like a king, and I don't really ask for it, but I appreciate everything. It's just, driver got 3 years. After I got home, he hit me up. He came to see me a couple times in therapy and helped out a little bit. The person who was on the side of me came to see me a couple times. The person who car it was came to see me a few times. And then they slowly faded off. The driver still stays in touch with me. We're actually friends on Facebook. Now I hit him every now and then. The other two, yeah, they kind of changed, act a little weird, but that's another story. My family, I got great support from my family, from both my mom, my dad, my brother, and my sister. Everybody look out for me. Make sure everything is going good. So I am single right now. The relationship didn't work. I don't know what happened, but other than that, let me see, what else do I got? Life after all of that, get back to society and things like that. You do run across some people who try to take advantage of you, like friends, like try to steal from you or sneak in a little thing, whatever, or try to holler at your girl or your baby mama behind your back, stuff like that, because they know that you ain't really out in the streets. But I don't get into all that, because that's like a lot of stress on you, and blood pressure rising and all that is just too much to go through. I had to learn how to basically talk again when I lost my voice. Had to learn how to move everything again. Had to learn how to adjust to being in a wheelchair. Had to learn how to operate a wheelchair without being able to move. Like, they had a sip and puff straw in there, and I never knew what that was. And I had to do a puff to get the chair to drive, a sip to make it turn left, hard sip to make it turn around or back up, a hard puff to make it go right. And it was so crazy and weird. Then I eventually got able to move my arms and started driving with a joystick. I still have one straw for drinking, which you can probably see right here. And if you look at some of my videos on YouTube, straws in every video. Gets on my nerves sometimes, but that's just for water or drinks. This little head device over here, that you might see behind me is part of my chair. That was basically for like an emergency switch, because one time when I was driving with my sip and puff straw, it flew out of my mouth and the chair kept going. And so I didn't have no like emergency button to hit for the chair to stop, but eventually it stopped automatically after 10 seconds. It's like I almost crashed into the wall, but it just so happened to stop it at 10 seconds. And so talked to my therapist, and they eventually found emergency switch. They had something where I could drive with my head, but I was like, no, that's too crazy. And with me trying to do music still and get back to normal, I was like, no, that's gonna mess up my image. I can't be going around nowhere with a headpiece device looking like Back to the Future or X-Men or something crazy like that. No, can't do it. So I wanted to try to be as normal as possible to help me out as a person, as a human being, or whatever. So they tried to give me all these extra gadgets, and I didn't really want them. And the chest strap thing was, I didn't have no balance or no trunk support where, you know, a person could sit down and you can balance yourself out. When I sit down with nothing to support my back, I can fall back or side to side or whatever. So I was like, I don't want the chest strap on because I want to be normal, and that's going to mess up my image once again. I can't be going everywhere with a nice shirt on and an ugly chest strap. So I argued with my parents on that, and we took that off, and I had to fight myself to stay back and forth, and that eventually worked. So I got a little bit of trunk support, and I work on that daily. Being back at home, as far as bills, I have caregivers, so insurance pays for all my medical needs and anything that has to do with medical stuff. They pay for the bills. I have to pay for my own rent and everything else like that. The gas for my van, pimping it out, all that stuff. But yeah, they bought the van. That was a blessing because I really needed that. Cause I was driving before that, I had a little something down here. It wasn't much, but I got from A to Z. And they paid for that. I pimped it out. Built me a small apartment, whatever, and I turned my one living room into a studio because I can't really get up and down those stairs, and I don't want to get no building. So put a studio in my back room because I wanted to get back to the music so bad. I had to have it, and I just felt like that was my calling, my dream is to do music. So with the movement that I got back and all the therapy that I've been doing, they showed me a couple things, and I put all that to use in my studio. So I'm still able to make beats and pretty much do everything that the average person can do. So a lot of people may think that just because you see somebody in a wheelchair or somebody like me where I can't really move my hands, I got these splints on because I don't want they make your wrist flop because I couldn't, move, paralyzed chest down, so I have no control over my wrists really. But if I take them off with my therapy, I can hold them up some, but I can't move my fingers. So when somebody see me like this, first thing they think is, what can he actually do? Can he have sex? Can he do anything that a normal person could do? But little do they know, I can do way more than what the average person could do, because with me doing music, I can make my own beats, I record my own self, I mix down my own music, I basically do all my own videos, I edit them. I can't really hold no camera, but I get a few people to do that or set up a tripod and go to work. I do my own graphics, I did my own website, I own my own record label now, Rookies to Legends. Y'all can go to r2lrecords.com. That's my website, and check me out, see what I do. And that's pretty much it. So before you decide to judge on what somebody in the wheelchair can do, think about it, because I can do pretty much everything. Let's see if I missed anything else. My kids, they are a big help. they actually is interested in everything that I do. They ask a lot of questions. Sometimes they help get me dressed, put my shoes on. Sometimes if they can get it on my foot. My arm gets too tired. One, like they help brush my teeth. Help with therapy by playing catch with a ball. Everything. So my kids, they pretty much kind of adapted a little bit and adjusting, but they are like my main motivation and inspiration because they are going to be the ones who get me up out this wheelchair. It's my kids. And let me see what else. I guess that's probably it for right now. The only thing I can say is I do go out to the club. Security treat me kind of like VIP. I waited in line a few times, but then after talking with a few people who would be in wheelchairs too, they're like, you better use that to your advantage. And so I said, yes, key caution, why am I waiting in line? So now I don't wait in lines. Every club I go to, they pretty much have a ramp, or before I go out, I make sure they are handicap accessible, and I ask them to check me down and pat me down, treat me like a regular person, which is what they do, and I love that. Make sure I'm straight in the club, make sure I get a nice spot where I ain't running people over or got this big chair just in the way. So you get a couple assholes who just be drunk and stumbling or whatever and not paying attention, but other than that, that really don't bother me because I got a big heart, so that's nothing. You should expect that when going out and knowing people gonna be drunk and ignorant, not understanding, so that's nothing. But the last thing that I can possibly touch up on, because I don't want to keep you waiting too long or listening, and everybody got things to do, so the number one question that pretty sure everybody want to know is, can I have sex? And yes, I can. I did before. It was kind of weird, kind of funny. It's pretty much the same, except for you can't feel it really, or you get a little tingles, depending on your levels and whatever. But some people use Viagra, some people got the pump. But if you got somebody who know what they doing, or if you are physically, spiritually, and emotionally attached, you're really not gonna need nothing but just y'all two, and do what you do. I'd say it's like sex slave with the handcuffs, because I'm pretty sure every girl wants to always tie a dude up sometimes and just tease him, strip tease, whatever. So I just treat it as that and go from there. If it's something that I didn't touch up on and you would like to know, please hit me up on Twitter at @IamKingCaution, or you can hit me up on my email, and that is kingcaution@gmail.com. That is KINGKAUTION @gmail.com. Thanks.